The following podcast is inspired by the book How to Live a Great Life. These podcasts are designed to give you some perspectives that will help improve the quality of your life. Habits. If you are like most people, you have habits that are a major source of stress. You probably don't even think of these habits as anything but uncontrolled responses. I intend to show you that these habits are learned, and like all habits, can be changed if you follow the right process. According to Wikipedia, a habit is a routine of behavior that is repeated regularly and tends to occur subconsciously. Some examples would be biting your nails or using certain filler words or phrases in your everyday speech. Again, according to Wikipedia, there are three main components to forming a habit: the cue, repetition, and reward. Let's look at response to criticism as a habit. Someone criticizes us or even implies criticism. Our stress levels go up. We get angry or sad or even depressed. We will likely either lash out at the source of the criticism or retreat within ourselves. We think the response is automatic, that we have no control over it. Going back to our definition of habit, our response to criticism is indeed a routine of behavior. We tend to always respond to criticism in one of two ways: retreat or attack. Each person will tend to choose one of these two responses as their most common way of dealing with criticism. Our response to criticism is repeated regularly each time we are criticized. Our response is indeed subconscious. We do not plan our response consciously. That is, we do not make a conscious decision to attack or retreat. The million-dollar question is, what is the reward? Habits are only formed when there is a reward. One possible reward for attacking our attacker is that we get to make them wrong for their inconsiderate behavior. Anytime we can make someone wrong, we feel superior. It makes us feel better about ourselves. So then the question is, what is the reward for feeling sad, depressed, or for withdrawing when we are attacked? The only possible reward I can imagine is that being attacked with criticism validates the common human belief that we are not good enough. Thus, our responses to criticism or verbal attacks fulfills the definition of habit. There is a trigger, which is the negative action of the other person. There is repetition. We tend to react the same way to each insult or negative behavior. And there is a reward. We either feel superior to the other person and make them wrong, or we retreat into ourselves and validate our feelings that we are not good enough. So perhaps you can now see that all the stress that we experience when criticized is the result of our habitual response to criticism. It is a habit, and habits can be changed. The key to breaking your habitual response to criticism is to stop being a victim. Instead, choose to be director of your life. This is a conscious choice. We spend too much of our lives feeling like we are being controlled by external events. I like to make a comparison between a life journey and owning a motorboat. When out on the water in our motorboat, the waves and the weather are external, uncontrollable events that may affect our experience. Other boaters may be inconsiderate. If they pass too close in front of us, their action may cause our boat to experience trauma. But we must never forget that we have control of the boat in our hands. Our water journey is not defined by external events. We can change direction or even go back to our dock when we feel unsafe. In the same way, we are in control when someone criticizes us or behaves in a negative way. Our journey on this earth is not defined by the negative waves created by others, nor are we limited by the storms that life might bring to our doorstep. I would like to share with you a story that is not about criticism, but is about the benefits of taking control of your life. A friend of mine has 2 cats. One of these cats is just 2 months old and is always getting into mischief. Recently, she was preparing for a day of work from home. She realized that her laptop needed to be charged. Unfortunately, she could not find the charger. She became quite upset. Her work was very important. The charger was the right size for the cats to have played with it. She became angry. The cats were ruining her work. My friend is on a journey of self-discovery. She realized her upset was dysfunctional. It would accomplish nothing. She decided to take responsibility for her situation. She asked herself when was the last time she had used the charger. Following this line of thinking eventually led her to the charger. I would submit that feeling like a victim when someone is mean or inconsiderate creates a similar habitual response to feeling victimized by the cats in my friend's life. We always have the choice of changing our response to one that is powerful and much more productive. So the next time someone is mean or aggressive, recognize the fact that it is their pain that is causing them to behave that way. They are feeling like they are not good enough. This is causing them to try to make you feel bad. Then they can feel superior, if only for a moment. You are in control of your response. You can choose to feel empathy for the pain of your attacker instead of triggering your typical response. You can break the habit. These podcasts are an introduction to the soon-to-be-published book, How to Live a Great Life. The promise of the book is to give you information and tools that will help you to reduce stress and increase joy in your life. To get updates on the launch date for the book, as well as information on future podcasts, please click the link Great Life in the show notes of this episode. Enter your email and you will be kept up to date. If you are listening using the Apple Podcast app, the show notes can be found by pressing on Detail. Then scroll down the show notes to find the Great Life link. This is Bill Rabo reminding you that your thoughts create your reality. So think positive thoughts.